I'd almost love to watch your process.
No, it's art, dude.
Yeah,
It's
like
art.
I'd like to time lapse you.
Speaking of art, to me, Bob Ross said it best. Bob Ross was that 80s painter with the afro, and he's talking about the canvas. It's an empty canvas. To me, my canvas is my editing software, Final Cut Pro. This canvas, it's an empty canvas. It's your world. And in your world, you can create whatever you want. There's no limits to your imagination. In my computer screen, my editing software, I can literally create anything I want. And it's a pretty cool feeling being able to create something and create something that other people like.
What's up, listeners? This is Ef'n, and I got Omar Rodriguez, a.k.a.
Cartel del Gordo.
Cartel del Gordo. What?
What? Wait. I'm so sorry. That was my other... No. Yes. El compadre. There we go. Politically correct.
Now, we got Vilas Sheldon with us today. And, and if you don't know who Vilas Sheldon is, where have you been? Like, you must not be on, like, social media. You must be, like...
You must not be on this planet right now.
Right? Now, Vilas Sheldon, he creates these awesome mashup, like, videos that have not hundreds, not thousands, but some of them have millions of views.
That's with an M?
That's with an M.
Nice.
And...
That's power.
And in my view, and in my opinion, I think he's one of the top social media content creators down here, like in the Rio Grande Valley.
Hold on, it's not your opinion; it's fact.
It is fact.
You
I
can't just say opinion when it's fact. That's not right.
I can't say that it's fact because then you'll have that one person post in the comments, well, you didn't look at so-and-so, blah, 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 and start calling me like mean names and stuff. And Mr. Sheldon, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me here. As you could tell, I dressed up for the occasion. Wore my special t-shirt.
Heck yeah, Natsuko.
The last time I wore this was when my baby was big, so it's a big deal being here.
Oh,
wow. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about the type of videos you create and how you got started?
Sure. The type of videos I like to create are nostalgic videos, specifically revolving around the 80s and 90s. Things that take you back to your youth, childhood, for example, a memory or a film that you saw. Watching my videos will strike a chord and make you feel that positive energy of the good times that we had back then. I like to use that content, make a mashup of all that stuff with a cool song and make it flow from beginning to end. Very uniquely and different, not necessarily a boring video. When you sit down and watch it, you're going to feel something special. You're going to feel that nostalgic vibe, and it's going to take you on a trip. And hopefully that journey is a positive one because everyone has a different experience of back then.
Oh, hold on a minute. I got to say this. Why?
Well, why not? That's the better question. I can answer that question, to be honest with you. Lately, social media has been a tool that people like to argue a lot, share opinions, and be kind of negative. I felt, hey, you know what? Why not create some positivity here? Make a video that makes people feel good, and people will react in a good way if it's done right.
You know what, man? In just seeing some of your stuff, it's not that it's tier. It's that it's like it takes you there.
Yeah,
it's a time travel.
The first video that I saw was the girls of the 1980s film.
How have I missed this one?
Oh man!
Can we cue that up?
It brought back so many crushes.
Exactly. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to create that one. I was talking to some buddies of mine. Wouldn't it be a good idea to just put all the women you thought were beautiful, or the ones that you had crushes on as a little boy?
Kathy Ireland, Phoebe Cates, whatever. Yeah, throwing that out there.
Exactly. They're all in there. And when you watch that, it's like, it's funny because I wanted to make it funny, put some funny scenes in there, put the women that you had crushes on, and it just takes you back, and it's just a fun experience to watch that. It's that video is one of my highest view videos on YouTube, 2.7 million views. Because of that video, I was able to get a temporary partnership with YouTube, which was really cool. But right away, they saw the content. They're like, hey, well, this is cool and everything, but the music, the copyrights, which is understandable. They turn off the switch and instantly the traffic on YouTube just died. But the cool thing is, thanks to Facebook, it's different. It's not necessarily an algorithm with Facebook. Facebook's more of a user-follower interaction that we have. The followers see a video, hey, they like it, they share it, they spread the word. Once YouTube buries you, it's kind of hard to get out of that.
What about TikTok? How does that working for you?
I just started that TikTok maybe 3 weeks ago. It's something that I really don't use. I just share my content there for TikTok users. I hear that's the most addictive app out there. So I just install it on my phone, upload a video, and delete it off my phone. I don't want to fall into that addicted trap. But it's there for people to follow. But I'm mainly more interactive and upload more content on Facebook. We're pushing 18,000 followers. Hopefully soon we'll reach to 20,000 and keep growing and keep sharing positive videos. Because at the end of the day, this is all for fun. I'm not doing this to get recognition like, oh, look at me, everybody, look what I could do. It's more like, hey, watch this. It's going to make you feel good.
I mean, you say that, but, there's money in it.
Well, there's money through licensings of music. A license for a song is kind of expensive. And funny that you bring that up because Facebook recently is working out a deal with content creators such as myself. If you purchase the licensed music, you'll be able to get ad revenue. But that's just the music. I use an average of 90 films per video. Imagine getting licenses for 90 different movies on top of the music. So
You'll go bankrupt quick.
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty cool with just having fun, creating this zero profit. People want to follow, that's fine. We keep growing every day, and it's more of a community that I'm more wanted to build, a community of nostalgia. People follow, and I just share things that I know they'll like.
Like when you did your first video, what made you want to do it?
It was 2 years ago, actually, to the day. Pretty much August 2 years ago. I saw this video on an 80's group. It was a tribute to 80's videos by a content creator called The Vintage Tribute. That video, when I first saw it, it went through the pop culture of the 80's, of TV, music, and movies through a song. And I have never seen anything like that. It flowed. The timing was pretty awesome, telling you different aspects of the 80's in all one video in 4 minutes. And it felt like a video. It felt almost like a game. I was watching, because I'm pretty knowledgeable in 80's stuff. I'm that weirdo of the bunch of friends that, if you want to know 80's, talk to that guy. And I was watching this video, and every clip I was like, I know that, I know that, I know that. And it got to the point like, who the hell is this person? Is it me? It felt like that connection. I got teary-eyed watching that video, and it literally changed me because it was such a positive video. And I remember reaching out to that person. Hey, you've inspired me to create my own stuff. I actually shared that video on Facebook, and that video just blew up on its own. 24 million views.
Wow.
And I wanted people to watch it. For one, it's an amazing video. I make sure that they got credit, the creators of that video. And the cool thing is, it all came full circle. Sometime last year, I felt kind of like, am I wasting my time making these videos? And that same content creator reached out, hey, like out of nowhere, left a comment on one of my videos. Keep going. You're getting better. Keep going. And to have the person to inspire you, not only watch your videos, but encourage and keep, not necessarily hating, but just encouraging you to keep going. I thought that was it. I'm like, you know what? If this guy says I'm good and he's the one that inspired me, I'm just going to keep on going. And that's the mentality that I have right now. It's all for fun. Keep going until either I get banned on Facebook or I get bored and start doing something else.
Best 80s song. If you could only listen to one 80s song,
That's not fair. That's not fair. Pick three.
I could pick five real quick, but if it has to be one, well, we'll get there. Number 5 would be Jesse's Girl.
Okay.
That's one.
Solid. That's a good
Number
one.
4, Toto by Africa. Toto by Africa. No, Africa by
Africa
Toto.
by Toto. Yeah.
Apologies for that. I've had too many beers. Oh my God. Number 3 would be The Outfield, Your Love. That song.
Josie's on vacation.
Exactly.
Far away.
Fun fact about that band, they actually came to Edinburgh, Texas, our neck of the woods, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I was working. I should have called in sick, but I didn't. And unfortunately, he passed away not so long ago.
Yeah.
So I missed my opportunity of seeing that band. And his voice, it was something that made that song very unique. The first chord you hear is like, Josie's on a...
Yeah.
That you already know, and you're already going back in time. That song is one of my favorite 80s songs of all time. Number 2 would be Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. That one's my second favorite. But number 1, ultimate favorite 80s song of all time, Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Oh yeah.
Gangster.
Yeah.
That's my number 1 song. And I remember specifically where I first heard that song. I mean, real quick before I go into that, back then, you guys are from South Texas. We only technically had one radio station that played that type of music, which was B104. We had one country station, and everything else was Spanish music.
That K-Tex, yeah.
Back then. And you either had to listen to that song or wait for it to come up, or I got lucky enough to discover it through a movie, Real Genius. At the very end, that popcorn scene, they're playing that song, and it plays throughout the credits. And I remember just sitting at the end of the movie just to hear that song.
Yeah.
That's how much I love that song. And to this day, it's my favorite 80s songs of all time.
Top 5 80s movies.
Movies are a little bit different when it comes to music for me. I have so many films that I like of the 80s. If I had to choose 5, well, definitely number 1 would be Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to the chopper.
I can tell you off the bat, I'm an action guy. I've always been an action guy, and especially in the 80s. I was a kid that was playing with my G.I. Joes and action figures and blowing up toys and whatnot. So I was automatically into those action films. So one was Predator. Number 2 would have to be easily a Van Damme film.
Hold
Even
on.
though I'm wearing the T-shirt, it's not Bloodsport.
Hold on.
Ooh, it's not Bloodsport.
What?
It's Kickboxer.
Ooh, Natsukao.
Oh, yeah,
Natsukao. Yes.
Kickboxer was a good one, yeah.
It's like, give me tongue ball.
Hey, yeah. Hey, I gotta say though, come on, bro. That means you're really a Van Damme fan because the original Predator was Van Damme.
Well, that's true. He was in that suit, and he couldn't. Right. He was either not comfortable and passing out a lot in the suit. He's like, I don't want to wear costume, and they are like, well, bye.
I think knowing Van Damme, what we know about him now, it was probably more you can't see my face.
Yeah,
so
that's very true as well. He wanted to make sure his face was seen. Back then, he was a handsome man before he got introduced to cocaine. But back before the Predator, he wasn't No Retreat, No Surrender. He wasn't big yet, and then he had an opportunity to work with Arnold Schwarzenegger in that film. Didn't work out for various reasons. But 88, 89 got you Bloodsport and Kickboxer, back-to-back action films, and the biggest ones, in my opinion, that he had in the 80s period. Now, like I mentioned, he's number 2 on my list. But my number 1 action star of the 80s is Van. Everyone has Arnold, which says a lot. Arnold is huge.
Well, fun fact, if you played like Mortal Kombat, Johnny Cage was based off of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
100%. He's wearing the same shorts and the little red, the belt that he has. That's the Bloodsport outfit. And I'm not sure they went to court, but speaking of Mortal Kombat, they took a Big Trouble Little China was inspiration for Raiden.
For sure.
As well. Yeah. So they took a lot of those popular films to make their video game. So back to the list. Real quick, top 5 films I would pick: Predator, for sure. Kickboxer, number 2. I would probably say Aliens as well will be in my top 5.
Really?
That is a good one.
Aliens, right? Not Alien.
No.
Aliens.
Aliens, the sequel, 1986.
with the Marines.
Yeah. That's the one that I like. I'm going to throw a raunchy 80s movie in there because, just be real, that's the way lots of those movies were, especially comedy ones.
Oh, Porky's.
I'm a Porky's.
Yeah, Porky's.
When I think raunchy, I think Porky's.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, for me, will be Just One of the Guys. That's one of the ones
and number 5.
I loved. Number 5. I would probably say The Karate Kid.
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio's character was he was getting bullied. Sure, he could have let it go, but he kept fighting back and picking with Cobra Kai and Johnny and them. And but the movie's just iconic.
So tell us a little bit about your audience.
Well, the first wave of folks came from that original viral video that I shared from the Vintage Tribute. That kind of brought people to the page and started watching my videos.
What is the page, bro?
Oh, it's just my profile. It's Vilas Sheldon. Just go to Facebook. You'll find me there. That's where all the followers. That's where I get the most activity and viewership. It's on Facebook. Like I mentioned earlier, since YouTube terminated the partnership for the content I was creating, there was like zero traffic going on YouTube.
What type of like comments have you gotten from your videos? Like anything that really sticks with you?
Yes. Well, once I started getting momentum and people watching all the videos I was creating, they reached out via DM and they'll say things like, "Hey, thank you for creating this video. You took me back to a better time." Or, "Hey, I've been going through some depression and this has really helped me through." And I think that's nothing but good things. And it makes me smile. I respond, "Hey, thanks for reaching out. You just follow up and we'll keep watching. We'll keep creating more videos." And many of them, the community that we're building here, I like to include them in the creation process. I'll post for suggestions because I'm not the guy that's seen every single movie ever invented or created. I usually stick to my regular rotation of films like Bloodsport 50 times or things like that. And there's some films that I might be missing that is going under my radar. And they'll leave me comments for a list of films. "Hey, include this film in your next video." And there's some film that I never seen or I never given a chance for whatever reason. And when you watch them, you're like, you know what? Why didn't I watch this back then? I had to wait till I was a grown up. But that happens quite often. And these followers are part of the creation process. And I want them to feel that this is their video as much as mine.
Cool. That's cool.
I dig that. So that leads me to dude, did you do a montage to Steven Seagal, somewhere in there?
No.
Because somebody's looking for Bobby Lupo, bro.
But how much time do you take, though, when you're like, okay, I now have to search for this part of this video that shows this, that 5 seconds from this movie. And
have so much respect for you, bro.
That's an excellent question to ask. It all starts with the creation process of beer. A lot of beer. Once you have beer, no, I'm being serious. Once you drink beer, you have to have those visions.
Yeah.
And those visions, sometimes
it's like in comedy. You got to get motivated sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Well, first, like I mentioned, you need the beer to get you relaxed, and then you start just to listen to the music. That you choose a song first. It's not always an easy process. A song is always the hardest thing to do. The whole process of creating a video. And once you have a song, it has to tell the story.
Heck yeah.
It can't be the same thing. It can, but you want sections. It has to have a good intro, a good pre-chorus, a strong chorus, and even a good bridge. And every section sounds different. So that gives you opportunities. Hey, a slow section, put some sad scenes in there. The high intense chorus, let's put some action. Let's put the highest feelings scenes of films there. Now, you might hear a song that has a specific lyric, like let's go with Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer, where he says, "Oh, take my hand, we'll make it." And to me, that sounds like something like I picture some sort of a scene where someone needs to accomplish something or get that next level to win. That's what I envision. And I just think automatically, oh, well, I could go to, just an example, I didn't use it, go to Van Damme when he's fighting Tung Po. He's about to lose, and then they cut that strap off his wrist, and he's like ready to rock. Something like that. And that's going to fit there. But that's the easiest part. Once you have those 3 seconds, oh, now I got to fill the rest of it up to show that main part. And that's the challenge. And how long it takes me just to answer it specifically. If you want to make a video the way I make them, as precise with timing and precision, and I average a month, believe it or not. Now, I don't do it every day. I have a job, I have a family, and I have other hobbies. You know, I have some friends that I have to hang out with, a social life. But I devote a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours a week.
Now you got some very like passionate fans, because when you haven't posted something, I see them like lighting up your Facebook page. Like, where's the video?
Get Royo away.
Where's the next one?
Well, the thing is, I create them, yes, for them, but it's also for me because like I mentioned, I'm obsessed with the 80s. I love it so much and I respect it a lot. And when I create, if I'm getting eyeballs on me and I can't put out trash, I want to make sure that whatever I put out there, I'm putting my name on it. I want to make sure it lives up to the standards, for my standards, and the 80s fans, they're expecting something cool. They're not going to expect something boring. They want something the way that it was. That's why I don't hold back on using raunchy movies. I don't hold back on using cuss words, because that's what the 80s movies were. They didn't hold back. They were all in your face. Deliver the action, deliver the babes, deliver the guys if you're into the guys. It was all there for the taking. And for me, I want to represent that in the videos. That's it. I don't want to really censor it as much as I can. Obviously, no nudity, but I don't want to hold back an F-bomb. I mean, to me, that's like no big deal.
I think what you're doing is so cool, Vilas, and it's so positive too. Like from some of the current social media people, like down here, there's some videos that put this area in like a negative light. Like, let's make fun of
what do you mean?
Of our own people. But your stuff is just so positive, and you're from here, and it's spreading all over, which is so cool.
Yeah, like it's funny that you bring that up, because yes, I do have followers, and I mentioned we passed the 18,000 follower threshold on Facebook. But out of all those 18,000 followers, I'm pretty sure only 5 are from South Texas. I have more of a global reach, I would say. I have some followers in the UK, El Salvador, Ecuador, Mexico, Mexico City specifically, and a lot of people from the United States, but not from Texas. A lot of people from up the East Coast, the New York area, and they're all, which is amazing, because it goes to show the power of the 80s in terms of what in the United States, the movies, most of them, not all of the films on the 80s are from the United States, but the biggest ones, the blockbusters, the ones that were really popular, they all came from the States, and they had that reach, the reach that it reached levels beyond borders. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
because why do you think a lot of these big stars, like in the 80s, once the 90s hit, they're like, they're gone?
Well, I think number one has to be age. Not every single 80s star disappeared. Arnold, I think for example, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the 80s was huge for him and very good for him. Predator, Running Man, just to name a few.
Yeah.
But then the 90s wasn't over for him. He made his masterpiece.
Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, that's his ultra masterpiece.
I love Kindergarten Cop.
I was going to say Terminator 2, but I think Kindergarten Cop wins. Kindergarten Cop, he was like, do it now. Take the toy back to the cop.
It's not a tumor.
I mean, he had all those great quotes back in that film. I mean, I love Kindergarten Cop, and it's one of those movies that puts a smile on my face. It's good Arnold. It's like Arnold in the 80s had twins to make you laugh. In the 90s, he had Kindergarten Cop. What happened to those stars? Now, some of them were lucky. Arnold, Van Damme had some hits in the 90s.
The correct answer was cocaine.
Oh.
Let's move on to the next question.
I should have known. I should have known.
This message brought to you by Dare, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Just say no.
I'm excited to see where you're going, what you're going to do.
We could literally talk for hours about one film, period. Imagine talking about all these other films or anything going on in the 80s. It's so much to talk about in such good conversation.
Heck yeah, man.
It's something that you could just, like I mentioned, just talk forever and just get lost. But
how can people find you? How can they get to you? All the good stuff, man.
Well, easy for sure. We're going to be seeing this on Facebook, the Ef'n show. We're going to be seeing it there, and then you'll see me tagged. That's my profile. Go to my profile. You literally see all the videos that I have there. I don't post much on social media. I kind of just, I don't like to show what I'm eating. I don't like to show what I bought.
You just create a masterpiece and be like,
I just create a masterpiece, watch, enjoy, have fun, get drunk, and that's it. And then I'll see you in a couple of weeks or next month, and that's the pace that I do. And I promise you, if you do follow and watch some of the videos, I won't flood your feed with boring stuff. Like I mentioned, I'm not here to tell you like, oh, I woke up and had a good day today. Real quick, I had this follower that would message me, hey, I just woke up and I'm having a great day. Oh, I'm about to get out of work and I'm going to bed. I'm like, what's going on with this person? I blocked them. And then I found, oh my God, I made a mistake. That was my wife. I blocked I blocked the wrong person. Now, my wife is my number one supporter of my page. So like I mentioned, just click on my name. You'll see me there. Just look me up. I'll be tagged on this video. If you like 80s, you're going to love the videos I've created. If you like 90s, I have a handful of good 90s films. We'll eventually get to the 90s and really showcase what that era, that decade was all about. And just like the 80s, it did pretty good at holding up on entertainment and not really holding back. Like I mentioned, some films today wouldn't be really made today in a positive light. Follow me if you want to see some old school nostalgic stuff.
That's awesome, man. Well, this has been the Ef'n Sunny Show with Vilas Sheldon.
Let's go watch some movies.